make sure to take the self-guided tour in the Matriarch's tomb. I hear it's a life-changing experience, at least from the Protectorate folks lucky enough to go there.
Made it through. Good. Now there should be 3 switches in this room. When pulled in the correct order, the door should open. If I'm reading this right, the order is 1, 3, 2. And which switch corresponds to which number? Oh, damn it. Why must the Protectorate abstract everything?
There must be a way to suss out which switch is which. Maybe if we could peep the wiring.
Damn it! No, what's up?
Give the order and I'll take care of him, Commander. Over here! 3 holes ahead! Combat!
Straps raring to go.
Correspond with each switch. Perhaps that'll be useful. The code I originally supplied can still be relied upon. 1, 3, 2. Wrong again. The code is 1, 3, 2. I'm glad to see you were not overly impeded by this puzzle, but I apologize. That vault door is quite the obstruction. Fortunately, there should be a code. No. Fuck! They changed it recently. That shouldn't have happened until next week. I'm certain I can diagnose the issue. Now that you've cleared the way, I'll come down and join you.
I might have something else that can get you into that vault, Commander. Does that seem a little off to you, Commander? I think he's starting to worry me. That business with the curator. I'm glad Zeb stood down, but it was close. Never seen him so eager for bloodletting before. He's changed. Ain't sure for the better. I know you're right. Suppose part of me still feels responsible for what he's gone through. If only I stuck it out, maybe then, well, no use stewing. We've still got a vault to break into and tyrannical government to topple. Speaking of, remember those components I found? I was able to turn them into something halfway useful after all. This gel should get us through that vault door. Turns out you were right about trusting my instincts. You take the honors, Commander. I'll be right behind you.
Not bad. I was hoping for a more Subtle incursion, but no matter.
Am I running hot?
Got a hint of worry I heard in your voice back there.
Alas, I neglected to pack a thermometer. This terminal should allow me to retrieve all the information stored here. This cannot be right. There's nothing here save the designs for the skip drive. Not even initial concepts. 10 years in Arcadia and the matriarch invented... nothing? And what's this about a deal with the Earth Directorate? We need to talk. Now.
In times of darkness, we must hold our principles dear. I fear the longer this war continues, the further we stray from them. Every step we take must honor the matriarch. I tell Henry this, but he is set in his ways. His notions regarding these rifts are sorely misguided. Why close them when we can use them to Arcadia's benefit? It matters not what the Order thinks, what the doubters say. The Architect bestowed us with the power of skip drives so that we may secure a perfect future. We must act with haste. I only ever wished for Henry to embrace his role as the caretaker of Arcadia, the savior of us all. But if he has chosen a different path, I will do as I must. And I must not fail.
I knew the Protectorate festered with lies, but I had no idea the Earth Directorate was complicit. Niles, did you know?
Slow up, Zeb. What are you talking about?
It says your agency struck an agreement with the Matriarch over a century ago. In exchange for skip drives, Arcadia was allowed to completely govern itself with absolutely no outside interference, including from the Earth Directorate.
Must be why the chief said we'd be on our own if we were caught. We were breaking the terms of this agreement. Unbelievable.
If this information is true, then the Earth Directorate permitted the Matriarch to create a colony filled with her vassals, enslaved to her will. Everything Arcadia is, all of the suffering that's taken place here, it all could have been avoided. Things could have been different. There's more. The skip drive schematics are here. How the explosive safeguards against tampering work, its evolution over time. But no original concepts, no sketches. Nothing. Our dear matriarch is a fraud, a cheat. She did not invent the skip drive. There are messages here between her and the First Sovereign that all but confirm it. I thought I might find some technological innovation that could be handed to the Protectorate's enemies. But this is almost better. By releasing this information, we can thoroughly crush the image the Protectorate has been built upon. The Sovereign will be revealed as the unclothed emperor he is, and demolish Arcadia's myth of superiority. If we administer truth to the people, their strength will return. Erstwhile, giving the skip drive designs to the Protectorate's enemies will even the fight. Their technological prowess will be made into nothing. Everything will come apart.
Downsides like how the skip drives are causing rifts? Yeah, I say that's worth a fret. Not to mention how this agreement with the Protectorate will completely destroy the Earth Directorate's reputation.
I was not aware of such a connection between rifts and the skip drives. But I have confidence the Order will figure out a solution. Science is their theater, after all. As for the Earth Directorate, don't you see? This frees them from any obligation to the Protectorate. they'll be able to manufacture skip drives themselves. The deal will be voided.
It's worth holding the Earth Directorate's feet to the fire for this deal, but I don't think the entire organization should be judged by its worst decision. It's done a lot of good, too. Plus, making the skip drive tech available, that's like throwing a lit match into a fuel converter. Can't think of a worse idea right now.
Do you think the Protectorate stand around debating the potential for injury? No. They act, and so must we. Damn the consequences. And should I refuse to leave empty-handed? What then?
Whoa. Put the brakes on, Commander. I'm sure Zeb can be reasoned with. I know you're aiming to do the most good for the most amount of people, Zeb, but sowing chaos ain't the way.
Do you know how many of my friends died so we could reach this point? Audra almost perished under Sentinel's instruments as well. And you would have me what? Give up now on the cusp of victory? Lay bare my throat for the Protectorate machine to cut?
You remember what we argued about the day before I left?
I've replayed it in my mind many times.
A lot's changed, but that hasn't. Life in Arcadia could be just like we dreamed it. But there's no future if you go through with this. Not for anyone.
Out of respect for my friend, I will forestall the release of this information and seek another avenue to help liberate the people of Arcadia. I'll remain here for a while longer to cover our tracks. The Protectorate will discover the break-in, but hopefully never learn more specifics of what we did and found.
Guess this is goodbye.
Only for now. If we both come out of this war intact, I'll find you. If you wish to be found, of course.
I want to talk it over with the Commander, but yeah, maybe we can work something out.
These are the ruffians who threatened me.
Let me
See that they join their friends and stuff. None of these defy.
Oh, my weapon! Take them down!
That's sorry. Ain't ready yet.
Breaking for cover!
Zeb was right. Never should have let it go.
Mission depleted.
Hey, got a distraction for you. I'm the one you need to worry about.
Minimizing exposure.
Don't even know where to start with everything that happened in there. At least we were able to talk Zeb out of his plan to release everything we uncovered. I'm all for sowing chaos in the Protectorate. But that kind of information is liable to do more harm than good in the wrong hands. I expect backroom dealing from unregulated corporations, not from the only agency keeping them in check. The Earth Directorate should be better than that. You're telling me you wouldn't have done things differently, or at least tried to. Permission to speak candid, Commander. Yeah, suppose we've moved well past formalities. Strange as it sounds, this whole experience with Zeb has helped me finally understand the position Augustine was in. Back at Horizon Point, ain't easy having to decide between your allies and protecting untold innocence. It's the damnedest thing. In spite of everything, I find myself relieved we spared her. Augustine still owes a debt to us, and the rest of the galaxy. Maybe she pays it all someday, and maybe she doesn't. Either way, you were right to give her the chance. Provided the rift don't dismantle us all before then. Yeah, suppose we will. Reckon time will decide the heroes from villains in this tale, but it's gonna be hard to forgive the Earth Directorate for arranging the stage like this in the first place. Deep down, I'm still convinced the galaxy is better with the Earth Directorate in it, flawed as it is. But what happened with Arcadia can never be allowed to happen again. Something has to change within the Directorate. And I think we're best positioned to see that reformation through. All said, I appreciate you giving me the space to work through this. Sort of feels like the future's opening back up after a long time closed. Likewise, Commander.
Enemy in vicinity. Threat detected.
Smells like paint and agitated dust. Renovations, I surmise.
Combatant observed.
That elevator over there goes to the Supreme Arbiter's old office. I hope the technicians have kept it in working order.
What the... Fair enough.
The old quarters are...
Nearby.
They have all been removed. I hardly recognize this place.
Why, Tristan, are you actually having a demonstrable human reaction?
I'm fine. Some errant dust merely found its way into my eye.
Bit leery of that. Giving another intolerable
city. Lethally.
Standing.
2 suspects in sight. No lawbreakers about.
Combat probable.
Oh, it's definitely something. It'll make me walk on over here.
I've eyed.
I sense we close in on something central to my investigation. We simply must live to see it through. I believe what we need is on that terminal. I'll see if I can find my way in. The terminal's locked, which is no surprise. See if you can find some method to bypass its passcode. Did you hear that? I think something may have unlocked. I think this may unlock the terminal, but the toggle mechanism appears compromised. I shall hold it. You attempt to gain access to the machine. You must finish reading through that terminal. The elevator...
Consul Thoreau, I'm sure you're surprised to be receiving this message, and thus I can assume you already know my intent. Even considering aligning myself against the Sovereign is like sticking my hand in boiling oil. Yet my dead charges spur me forward. 10 scores of Arcadia's finest, at least 10 scores, died in defense of Golden Ridge. And does the region lie in our control? No. We fled like sprats, all at Varric's behest. I shall lower myself to work with you, Consul. I will help you uphold your plan to... Hold... What in blazes? How long have you been standing there? What did you hear?
I cannot believe what I heard. I cannot. Actually, it wasn't. Perhaps at first, until I discerned her true intentions. My mentor hated the Consul and was deeply devoted to the Sovereign. She'd never speak thus, unless she was trying to lure the Consul into a trap.
Those unable to accept the truth do often invent their own.
What I'm proposing is eminently plausible. It may be beyond you to see her machinations, but it's obvious to me that this was merely an intricate play. It's all that makes sense. Don't Tristan me! Just because the situation looks dire doesn't mean... Wait, do you hear that?
Arbiter Rao, I finally got you. Submit quietly to the Protectorate's justice for your manifold transgressions.
Are you insane? Who are you? And on whose authority do you claim to judge me?
My name is Junior Arbiter Mayhall, and I operate on Arbiter Mandate, as you did once. Now, no questions. This is already going to be difficult enough.
This is not the time for your deranged jests.
Well, that's ridiculous. My interest in Arbiter Rao is purely professional.
Enough. This has been an unpleasant day, and my patience is gone. Your accusations are baseless, and accosting a higher-ranked arbiter is grounds for arbitration.
They're far from baseless. You stand accused of abandoning your post, of infiltrating Protectorate facilities with opaque aims, and of hampering the Protectorate war effort. There's no discussion to be had with criminals. I needed to see firsthand that Arbiter Rao had abandoned his station. He has, and must meet my judgment.
These accusations of yours are slander. If you believe false bravado shall save you from my wrath, you're sorely mistaken.
And understanding? Do you have any concept of protectorate law? There is no such thing as an understanding. I accuse someone of a crime. Then I grant them their punishment. They were guilty at the moment of accusation. Arbiter Rao is guilty. I may not wish to judge him. I may not understand what has come over him. It is of no consequence. His crimes against the Protectorate are all that matters.
The ex-Protectorate subject there had been mentally refreshed. Killing him would have accomplished nothing, despite his crimes, as he was merely a pawn to someone else.
That's even worse than I thought. You chose not to do your duty, and expect telling me so would soften my decision to judge you?
The Supreme Arbiter taught me to follow my own sense of justice, and I have. Use your mind. Think about what I did. What you intend to do. Is this moral? Is this right?
What of it? Someone has to stop him.
Ironic. You came here to judge me for much the same reason I have, as you so claim, deserted. I chose to investigate the Supreme Arbiter's death on my own. You chose to investigate my departure on your own. You seek to judge me for the very crime you are guilty of.
That's impossible. I refuse to believe we both could be guilty if we were simply following what we were taught. There's no protocol for following one's heart in the Protectorate. I still do not know what to do, but perhaps that is the point. Consider my hand stayed. I can see that judging Tristan would only rob the Protectorate of another of its servants. It seems I must reflect on this matter.
This discussion may have borne fruit, but we must yet decide my course of action. Though I think I have made my decision. Duty prompts me to answer Mayhall's initial accusation, despite her retraction. But I think I shall not. Slaying her for sincerely trying to do what is right would be a farce of justice. There has been very little humor to much of anything since we entered this office. It would appear we're in agreement. Neither of us shall raise a hand against the other. I'm pleased.
Wasn't expecting such a mature resolution from our little arbiter. I'm impressed, and not even in a backhanded compliment sort of way.
So, what course of action do we take now?
It's important for an arbiter to use their forebrain. Next time you encounter something as strange as a loyal arbiter diverging from the path of righteousness, investigate. You may find more questions than answers. But deciphering them and interpreting justice as best we can is how we might serve Arcadia.
Uphold justice in my way. I'll attempt to remember that, Arbiter Rao. Thank you.
Glory to the Protectorate, Junior Arbiter. Make me proud. I'm pleased we were able to resolve that altercation peaceably. Robbing Arcadia of an enthusiastic recruit would have given me little joy.
Appreciate you using your forebrain for a change.
You know, I'd even venture to say she reminded me just a little of myself as a lad. I assure you, I was once there. Any arbiter of note must build their character on a foundation of enthusiasm. All this excitement did not make me forget the confession on the Supreme Arbiter's terminal. I have to bring it to Virgil. Together, we can discover exactly what transpired. There's nothing to take. As I said, the Supreme Arbiter was working to trap the Consul in some way. Virgil will agree. I'm not sure of his whereabouts since last we encountered him. I'll send him a message. With luck, we'll hear from him before long.
Eye your neighbors carefully. A perfect society demands perfect thoughts. Imperfection is impossible when the mind is a thing of symmetry. Prudence dictates, eye your neighbors carefully.
Commander, is there a reason we do not deign to enter through the main gate?
I want to defeat the Protectorate as much as the next rational sentient being. But I'm not sure it's worth allying with the corporatists. You're quite curious. I'm unsure if you're a mercurial contrarian, corporate stooge, or possess some hidden strategy. I suppose I might become addicted to their overly sweetened foodstuffs. If that happens, you have my permission to put me down, dear. May all our endeavors yield expected results.
Once we find Virgil, he and I shall unravel what occurred with the Supreme Arbiter. Together, we shall have no trouble, I'm sure.
What's all this about the Earth Directorate making skip drive deals with the Protectorate? Why, it's almost as if you're no better than the corporations you're supposed to police.